if you're kind of thinking about where this country's going and what you're going to do when it all goes to hell, stick around today. We're going to talk about where the Southern Idaho Preparedness Net has been, where it's going, why the hell we even do it. This time on SHTF Radio. Let's do this. You know, it's hard to believe. I've been now doing the Southern Idaho Preparedness Net for about 6 months. I got 15 different nets under my belt. We've got 15 different topics. And, you know, it's kind of amazing the breadth of topics that we've covered on the net on Saturday mornings. Let me just run through them real quick here. We've got the ham radio toolbox we talked about, staying armed and trained, bartering, what comes after money, bugging out versus bugging in, building your prepping community or building a community for when something bad happens. We talked about the real world cyber attack that we had from with AT&T. We've talked about EMPs and what would be your response, and we went through that hour by hour. Natural disaster communication plans, your prepping toolbox, just the general tools that you need to get along, whether you bug in, bug out. Traveling preppers or traveling preps. What do you take? What are your concerns going from state to state, traveling from different parts of the country? We've talked about home security and personal security. Teaching radio, teaching two-way radio to preppers. And I'm not just talking about ham radio, but I'm talking about GMRS and MERS and CB. Just getting two-way radios into the hands of people who are like-minded. Real news by two-way radio. This is a huge thing. This really is the crux of why I do the Southern Idaho Preparedness Net. We've talked about Civil War, and we've talked about training in today's real world, how we can train. So, you know, a very interesting question came up for me during the net, and it was on the YouTube live stream. And a guy asked, why bother with the radio? A couple of YouTube comments here. One, Bryce asking, what is the purpose of the radio check-ins? Why bother with the radio? You've got issues, you got all these things. Why bother with the radio portion of the live stream? And in his mind, you know, maybe because he's not been on the radio side of it, you know, and it was just a straight live stream to him. Or maybe he was talking strictly about me logging call signs into NetLogger during the net. And I kind of had to come up with my answer on the fly, but I want to explain it a little better. Now, I told him while we were on the air and during the net, I said, because this is practice. We are practicing or training, actually, for the time where maybe the internet doesn't work or YouTube doesn't work. I'm trying to train myself to get on the radio, looking for the news and information that I always thought would be there in times of emergency. But over the years, it's become kind of apparent to me that the news and information that I thought I would get out of ham radio in an emergency just isn't there. Now, most of the nets that I come across on my ham radio travels are pretty much just a check-in net. Some of them are huge. They go on for hours. But for the most part, it's you check in with your call sign. Maybe you spend a couple of minutes talking to the net controller. Most are just a few sentences and off to the next ham. I wanted to do something where we're providing some news and information, a real topic to discuss. And that's my goal, is to get more and more of us involved in providing actual news and information to each other. And like I've said many, many times, if you don't do something in good times, if you don't practice and train for these things, you won't do it in bad times. That was a very, very good question. I hope I can answer that. I hope I did answer that. Now comes my question to you, my real tough question. During the live stream, during the net, the radio portion of the net, there's a couple of guys that help out, that jump in there. Terry, thank you. Jeff, thank you. Matt, thank you for jumping in, providing a little bit of material and some insight. Garrett, thank you. You guys make the radio portion of this net happen. I'm hoping that gets a little bigger, a little better. I hope more of you ask questions or have a comment during the net. On the live stream portion, an enormous amount of information is passing by. I can't read it all. It is fantastic. It is really, really important stuff that I wish I could get into the show. I don't want to sit there and just read comments. I would love to figure out a way to get some of you guys that are on the internet, on the live stream, involved in the show or involved in the net, even if you're doing it as kind of a, I can do call-ins on the phone. I can make you a guest and you could provide a little information. You tell me, what do you think if you had any way in the world that you, the people on the live stream, could contribute to the net while the net's going on, and you be the authority? How would you do it? Like I said before, leave a comment, subscribe if you haven't, give it the thumbs up, turn on the notification bell, do all that good stuff. Share the video, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. I'm Bob, K6UDA. I'm out of here. 7-3.